Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our robotics class, week 29. So this is the week before we go on break. And so last time we met, we finished up Unit 5. If you remember, we were all pretty sick and tired of the wall maze. We did it for so many weeks, and we just ended up finishing it up. We did the Unit 5 test, and that was all part of the third quarter. So now, as of today, I would say we're in the fourth quarter, but I didn't want to give you any assignment like homework or anything since it's the break, and I was just trying to give you guys a break. So what I'm going to do this week is really just do the introduction into Unit 6. It is definitely, I would say, an interesting unit. We're learning about the location sensor. So we're going to just take a look. We're going to read through the first lesson that's part of Unit 6. And then there won't be any code or any quiz or anything this week. So this video is really just to introduce us to Unit 6 and just get us comfortable with the idea of what we're going to be doing. And then once we get back from the break, then we'll just jump right back into doing some coding again. Okay. All right. So here we are, Unit 6, knowing your location. So in Drive to 3 Numbers Challenge, you will use the location sensor to navigate the VR robot to 3 different numbered sections on the number grid map playground. So we're going to learn about that. You will apply blocks from the drivetrain, sensing, and control categories in the correct sequence in order to solve the Drive to 3 Numbers Challenge. So let me put the video. You can see it's literally 57 seconds.
In this unit, you will learn how to use the location sensor on the VR robot. The VR robot's location sensor is built into the VR robot's brain. The VR robot's location sensor will report the current X and Y coordinates of the VR robot. The location sensor can also report the angle the VR robot is currently pointing. Using this information, the VR robot can drive to any known location on a playground using the location sensor. You will get the chance to apply your new skills using the location sensor to solve the Drive to 3 Numbers Challenge. In this challenge, you will need to determine the coordinates of 3 different numbers and then use the location sensor to navigate to each target on the number grid map playground. Have fun learning how to solve the Drive to 3 Numbers Challenge.
Okay, so as you see, it is a number grid. And so that's what we're going to be using. Hopefully everybody knows their number grid. I believe we've mastered that concept in kindergarten, right? So in this lesson, we're going to use the location sensor. And we're going to use it to navigate the robot on the number grid playground. So actually, let me open up my VEX code so we can take a look. So remember the different playgrounds? Playgrounds. We don't have a playground, but playgrounds are fun. Hopefully you guys get to go to playgrounds. So the number grid looks like this right here. Hang on. It's being kind of slow for me. But here is the number grid right here. So that's what it looks like. It has all the numbers going to 100. So that's what we're going to be using. So we're going to be in this lesson learning how to read an XY coordinate. So hopefully everybody knows what that is. And if you don't, it's okay. I'll go over it with you. We're going to identify the position of the robot block, which reports the X or Y coordinate position. And then we will be learning how to actually use the location sensor. So the VR robot has a location sensor built in that reports the XY position of the robot. So if you remember how to write the coordinate, you just do your parentheses and the first number is the X, a comma, the second one is the Y, and then you close the parentheses. The location of the VR robot is determined by the front center turning point. This is also the location of the pen on the VR robot. So there we go. Location sensor values can be seen on the dashboard in VexCode VR. So that's how we can see it. So in the coordinates, so each playground ranges from negative 1,000 millimeters to positive for the X and Y. So if we take a look here, hopefully everybody can see it. So our X axis goes across this way. So it's going from left to right. And then our Y axis is going from top to bottom, bottom to top. And that is how we divide up the number playground here. So we have our grid. And then we have 0 in the middle. So there's 0 where the X and Y meet. And then if we go over here to the right, we're going up 200, 400, 600, 800, all the way to 1,000. And then if we move to the left, we're at negative 200, negative 400, negative 600, negative 800, negative 1,000. And with the y-axis, we go up from all the way up to positive 1,000, and then we go down to negative 1,000. So again, I would need to know if I wanted you to go to like number 68, I would have to know where on the X and where on the Y does number 68 meet to be able to give you the coordinates. So we're going to have to learn about that. So the VexCard VR dashboard displays the XY position determined from the location sensor. So like, for example, here it says location of number 68. The X is 505 millimeters. The Y is 305.1 millimeters. So we know the X and the Y position. If we put that in, it would get us to the number 68 on the number grid. So there's a lot more, like they actually have separate articles explaining all about how to identify the coordinates, current location, and angle. Again, I never know how detailed to go, and I never know what to do because you're not even here. So I don't even, it's been a very tricky year for me. And so I'm still here. So somehow we're making it through. But basically, we're just going to follow through with this. And if you're confused, I would say just always go back to the video. That's why I always give you the answers to the code on the video, because I mean, there's like, I'm not walking around looking at your computer screen. So it's really the second best thing. So the location sensor can be used to navigate the coordinates of any playground. We can load and run the location example project to see how to navigate the VR robot with feedback from the location sensor. So I guess we can actually go to File, Load, Open Examples, and then we can go to, it's telling us what to do. How nice. Select the location example project. So let's see if we can find the location example project. It's called location. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here we go, location sensing. Okay, so it says select the number grid map playground if it isn't already opened. So we can do that. Let me select it. Playground. I want to go to the number grid playground. Okay. And then as soon as it opens, I'm going to start it. And there's our robot. And I'm wondering where it's going. So in this project, it says that the robot drives until the Y coordinate is greater than 0, then it turns right, and then it drives until the X coordinate is greater than 0. This places the VR robot close to the center near the location 0, 0. So that's where we are. So we could actually look here and we can see our location sensor. The X value is 5 millimeters, the Y value is 30 millimeters. So that's our location sensor. And so that's basically how we use the location sensor. So we're looking at some of the code here. It says project. So this example will use a location sensor to control when the robot stops and drives. So we put in some code here, and it says drive forward. The robot will drive until it passes 0 on the y-axis, because look, it says position Y, and then it's going to stop. Then it's going to turn right, and it's going to drive until it passes the 0 on the X, and then it's going to stop driving. So we just put in some basic code to enable us to just see how the location sensor works, right? So that's basically how it works. And the blocks that you're using again are inside of the sensing. You're using the position block, position in Y in millimeters. So that's something to, if you go in here in the location sensing, this is one of the blocks, position X in millimeters, position Y in millimeters. And then you have to use one of the green blocks to use the greater than, or you could even probably use the equal if you wanted to stop at a certain position, an exact position at the X or Y. You can also do that as well. So I would say this week, oh, excuse me, this week, if you want, I mean, this is really for the kids who are very avid learners who love to go beyond. You can go into the VEX code and just kind of play around with this. You can take this code that's right here and start plugging in numbers and testing it out, and check out your location and kind of just measure it and practice trying to get to some of the numbers. That would be a good, just fun thing to do if you wanted to go a step ahead with the code. Because like I said, I'm not giving any homework this week since we are going on the break, and I didn't want to give anything to you guys. So that is what we're doing this week. So you can really, if you want to play around with it, you can go in here, you can play around with it. Otherwise, that's it. All right, guys. So when we get back from the break, we're going to actually start in with lesson number 2, and it will be driving to a set of coordinates on the x-axis. So we'll be actually learning how to drive and do that. All right, guys? All right, so have a nice break, and we'll see you when we get back. All right, bye, everybody.